Hey neighbor, welcome back to ARTV. My name is John, and believe it or not, I've never heard Hobo Johnson's music. That might come as a surprise to you because I'm always up on all things budding in the alternative and emo world, but Hobo Johnson, at least from what I know, is an emo rapper, spoken word artist. He's called Hobo Johnson because he was homeless at age 19, got kicked out of his house, living in a car, and that's really the extent of my knowledge. I've also heard that it's kind of a hate it or love it situation with him, and I hope that I'm on the positive side of the spectrum, but no promises because I've never heard anything. I'll be going through and listening to a handful of his songs that were mostly selected by a massive fan of his that I know in real life. Shout out to Samantha, thank you for putting that together for me. I'll be going through and reacting to these songs, and in the moment I will hit them with a thumbs up, thumbs down, or a meh to let you know how I'm feeling. Now make sure you stick around to the end of the video because I will go back and listen to these songs more, because I always feel that with reactions you can miss things in the moment because we're obviously having fun talking over it or just listening, trying to give commentary on it. So stick around to the end where I will give my final thoughts and ratings. Song number 1 that I'm going to be listening to is I Want a Dog. I'm expecting maybe something either really bright or really dark, so let's hit play and find out.
I really want a dog and a wife who loves to talk about the day that she had.
Okay.
A house that's on a street.
Sad route then.
I want my dog to fucking talk. Tell me that she's very, very
What?
proud. No, Frank, you just want a dog. You just want a dog. I want the life I've never had, and I want only just to laugh.
Anxiety and depression have an interesting way of manifesting themselves. This is interesting. Whoa. Okay. Good build up. Take it into the heart right there. I had a feeling this was going to be the case, but it's going to make it difficult to react when I really need to pay attention to the lyrical content, so I'm sorry if the reaction bits are a little bit chopped up just due to copyright and everything, especially since Hobo is on Warner. But I Want a Dog was a very provoking track, I would say. It was thoughtful. It took me a minute to actually get what he was going for, but then again, I mean, that's to kind of be expected. I think it was a really nice sentimental track, and that build-up was fantastic. I love the payoff with the guitars, the drums, the more aggressive vocals. He reminds me, I mean, I hate to compare just because of the spoken word element, but of course a little bit of Law Dispute in there, and I'm a big fan of them, so it translates here. Thumbs up. Song number 2, Peach Scone. This is one that I've heard is one of his more popular tracks, so let's see what all the buzz is about.
Oh, listen up. Young man is a young man. He writes stories. He's a writer, a little writer boy. He brushed me off like the dirt on Jay-Z's shoulder, so I called it ground.
Get that dirt off your shoulder.
And I love the thought of being with you. Or maybe it's
Why is this reminding me of a microwave song I know?
Maybe it's the thought and not being so alone. The second one's way side.
The struggle.
I just want to say something real quick, please.
Broken vocals that's throwing me off. It's so all over the place. I feel like I should be having a meltdown to this.
Oh yeah, my name's Hobo Johnson. People like to say I'm a rapper. I'm actually not. I produced this myself. I'm hella fucking proud.
Well, good.
I just really hope that she doesn't get hurt, you know? They say it takes.
These backing vocals are so extra. What? That was weird. I really maybe, like I said, felt a little too down to earth, a little bit too just like I'm right next to you and I'm listening to you vent all of these feelings, and the backing vocals and the overall bass line on this one, everything just felt like it was creeping towards something, but it never really actually exploded in the way that I wanted it to. It was actually a little bit annoying. I felt like it just kind of annoyed me a little bit more the longer it went on. I did not care for this one. The vocals were too all over the place, and of course I kind of feel like he was trying to maybe relate some sort of manic episode, but it didn't really work for me all that well. Thumbs down. We're 1 up, 1 down at this point, so let's move on to typical story. Scuzzy guitar. Reminds me a little of Grandson. Okay. Feels like a Windows Down, like Out on the Lake song for some reason. Damn. Yo, he got that Kendrick U flow on this one from T-Bap. This is like an angry cry in song form. Why am I being put in a hypnotizing trance here? Sorry. Wow, that was really catchy stuff, actually. I enjoyed that. A great build, a great energy. It felt like he was on the verge of fighting back tears, but also pushing out this hostile anger. There were politics in there. There were love connections. There was internal frustrations. There was a lot going on. It's a typical story. I really liked his narration of all of the chaos here, and his backing band, I believe they're called Hobo Johnson and the Lovemakers, killing it on this tune. Again, it did remind me of Grandson, but I don't know who got their start first or who was influenced by who. Obviously, there were influences that came long before them and the whole rap rock world that would make this a reality. But typical story was really engaging. Thumbs up. Things are about to get super personal. At least I feel that way. We're about to hit play on song 4 called Father.
Hi.
Hi.
My name's
Hi, Hobo.
Frank.
Hi, Frank.
Hobo Johnson. I hope you like this song.
I hope so too.
For my dad. It's for you, Dad.
Oh,
Hey.
I could be. I'm older than you.
Dad said a bird doesn't need a full nest, but a bed for our bird heads to rest. He told me, son, you'll never
The classic
know.
sex talk.
Real matter. A real jealous, and that's real bad. Nicotine until you fall asleep. Like all of our family. Like
We got a
all of
history
our
of addiction in this family, it sounds like. Getting Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood vibes from those pianos for sure.
As the monster runs rampant through the house.
Wow, what kind of double life was his dad leading?
And the monster doesn't sleep, it just schemes and fiends on the next tasty meal to get seed.
Conflicted is definitely a word that I would use to describe myself when listening to this. There were elements that I liked as he was trying to describe his fractured relationship with his father. At least that's what I'm getting from the lyrics that I was picking up on. But again, there is so much tumultuous chaos in there that it's hard to pick everything apart. Maybe it's going to require more listens. We'll check back later. But for now, I'm a little bit cooler on this one. Cooler my jets here, I'm going to have to say meh. Let's check out another song from his most recent album that dropped in 2019, Mover Aware. Oh, I missed my clap cue. Damn it.
Always wants to fight, he's not a talker who
Reminded me of Macklemore here.
She makes my Mondays feel like Fridays.
Okay, I like this. It turned into an upbeat thing. I thought it was gonna be all sadness forever. God, I need to get out and dance at a club. It's been too long in quarantine. Oh, she moved away? No!
Every single guy she's ever loved to me sounds really fucking dumb.
Been there, buddy. It's like a row a canoe to the middle of the lake music and just sit there. I quite like the production on that track. He did kind of sound like Macklemore in some of the slower flows, but that's okay. I mean, I'm not a Macklemore hater like a lot of people out there. I mean, I do hate some of his material, but definitely not all of it. It was a nice little ode. It felt like he was talking to this girl that's clearly no longer in the same place that he's at. She's moved away, or maybe she moved away in the past. Maybe it was an old flame. But I enjoyed the way that he kind of accented it and made it feel positive and hopeful despite the fact that he's kind of sad about it. So it was a nice tune overall. I thought the production was pretty nice. The skittering drums were tasteful. I also enjoyed the deep bass on this one, the chiming pianos. Thumbs up. Moonlight is up next on our little journey here today. It's another cut from that album. So I think I've been enjoying the tracks that I've seen from this album. I really like the album art for this. So let's see how this one turns out.
That lovely little lady said, I'll call you back.
I like the strings there. Little drama, little melodrama in there. This feels cinematic. I'm getting like a movie soundtrack vibe. How many times is this dude gonna name check Ruby Tuesday? Whoa. We hearing this? What would you even call this? Got my claps down now. The mix was so thick, the mixing here. It feels like when you say that you've got a lot going on right now in your life and you actually don't, so you overcompensate by writing a lot of things on your calendar. There were elements that I enjoyed. Again, it did feel kind of cinematic and suspenseful, but it was a little bit out there. I never really felt that he reeled it in with a clear vision, so I'm gonna have to say meh. One more song to react to. We're gonna close out on this one. It's called Happiness. Well, I feel like I'm about to cry.
That you find happiness.
Oh.
And the piano sucks, but this place will never change. It'll probably get way worse.
The way the piano is lining up with the drums and his rhymes is perfect.
What made me break your lovely little heart? And I said, Ashley, that's so fucking dumb.
Whoa.
To think she's gonna write that book.
Why do we have to close on the one that's gonna make me sad?
Life. And if I even like it, but I know.
Chills. Literally just got chills on that part.
But I am turning over every stone and I will search the fucking depths of this.
I love this.
But I am so fucking done being so afraid. I really hope that you find happiness.
That might be my favorite out of the songs that I listened to today. That was chilling, it was inspiring, it was trying so hard to find the optimism, to find the good, even though there's really not anything good at this point where the depression is weighing down like this cloud above you. But I love what he said about turning over every stone, trying and making himself, even though he's not sure that he even likes life. This dude just has a lot of heart. Even on the songs that I don't like, there's passion in the music. He's very likable, and despite some of these mixes being a little bit too chaotic, I feel like some things could have been tweaked. I think I liked the majority of the songs off of this album, so yes, I'm definitely gonna want to check out more, but for now, let me sit with these 7 songs that I listened to, and I'll get back to you with my thoughts after I've heard them more.
Several song-filled hours later.
Alright, set change, but I'm back in the studio. It's been about 24 hours, actually a little bit longer than that since I did the initial reactions, and I've had a chance to hear the songs more and look into Hobo Johnson's backstory a bit, along with seeing some of the behind-the-scenes meanings for the songs that I played through. Did any of my thoughts or ratings change? Maybe a little bit, but let's just go ahead and get right into it. I Want a Dog was the first song I listened to, the one that I lost my Hobo Johnson V card to, and thank God that I played this first and not Peach Scone. I stand by my thumbs down for that one. It's incredibly irritating and not something that I'd likely ever come back to, but I noticed that it was a one-off single, so it doesn't seem like that's an indicator of a direction he wants to go in. However, I Want a Dog was really fresh and heartfelt. Like, Frank kept talking up these dreams to be something so big before coming back down to earth and just trying to accomplish the small things like getting a dog or just something routine, just craving some semblance of a normal life. It's a great track. I love the build-up in it and the release of tension in the finale, and I stand by my thumbs up. Typical Story is up next, and this is an incinerating lightning bolt. Holy shit, this is fun to hear. There's a lot going on, and according to the man himself, it started off as a poem that he wrote while he was washing dishes that finally came to life in the studio years later. The guitars kick ass, his angry flow is easy to get behind, and this is actually tied for my favorite out of the 7 songs I listened to. So Father tied me up a bit. His flow is kind of in and out up against some of the off-kilter pianos that are nice, I guess. I'm just not super into the sound. It does feel personal as he writes about his parents' divorce, but it's also like he's pushing off things just when it starts to get deep and more interesting. The lyrics are solid, but I can't say that I'm feeling anything other than a meh, a shrug of the shoulders to this one. Mover Aware. That sounds like the title of a Nothing Nowhere song, but this little gem was actually pretty enjoyable. He's got a way with words that does keep me hanging on even when there's musical choices that feel slightly awkward. Not that this one was overbearing musically or anything like that, there's just some slightly off-putting ideas that I'm not on board with. Either way, this was a well-told story that seems to go way beyond the idea of just a girl moving away. It's more like everything that happened surrounding that event, which is cool to hear him explore. Moonlight is next in the queue, and as I noted in my reaction, he actually straight up borrows lyrics from the previous track I talked about, Mover Aware, with the Ruby Tuesday line, and apparently a few other callbacks to older tracks that I haven't even heard. It's so tough to make a call on this one since I do like the cinematic feeling the strings give, but it feels too weighted down and familiar with his flow and even by some of the callbacks. I'm standing by the meh for this one. I'm not really feeling it all the way. That leaves only Happiness to give a final verdict on. And if you were wondering what the other part of my two-way tie for my favorites was, this is it, Chief. Sadness hangs in the air like a half-filled balloon. That, and a mixture of self-admitted passive-aggressive childish behavior towards an ex-girlfriend before getting it together and flipping the second chorus on its head by headed towards the light instead of the dark. It's nice to see him really tie it all together in that way and bring some sort of radiating positivity. I can no longer say that I've never heard Hobo Johnson. That was fun, interesting, and emotional at times, but still fun. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing my reactions and hearing my final takeaway. I'll definitely plan to check out more of his music and the full album, The Fall of Hobo Johnson. Drop a like on this video and subscribe if you're new to my channel. Join the neighborhood. I call my viewers neighbors because we're all a tight-knit community of music fans. So yeah, thanks for stopping by. You can see my first reaction to Doja Cat by tapping here, or check out a recent top 10 list I did over here. Socials can be found down below, and I'll see you soon right here on ARTV.